feel like the offense accomplished in the live work over the weekend and then today as well?
Just really working on our run game. You know, we've been that's priority number one. So the only way to practice that really is to go live and tackle and find out how many yards you made on a run play. You know, sometimes in practice when you just tag somebody and blow the whistle, you're not really sure if you made 2 yards or 4 yards or 6 yards. So that's the only way I know how to do it. So we've been going live a little bit just to find out where we're at.
Along with L.J. Martin, who are some of the other running backs that you feel confident can contribute in games when you get to that point in the fall?
Well, obviously Folau's a proven player in games. Miles Davis is doing a good job. I think he's reached the point now where he can run the whole offense. He's not a role player anymore. You know, he's had his moments in his career where he's done good things for us in a limited role, and now he knows how to do everything. He can just go in the game and play, and it's good to see him be at that stage. And then Pokai is getting a lot of reps and doing a really good job. Yeah.
Where are you at on the quarterback battle?
Just battling it out, even reps every day between Gary and Jake. You know, we're only halfway through, so I don't think the body of work is enough to make any determinations yet. They've both had some good days. We're just working our way through it. You know, and Gary, he's still new to the system, so I don't think it'd be fair to make any kind of, you know, major judgments after 8 or 9 practices yet. You got to let that body of work grow, and then we'll evaluate it later.
So is there not much carryover between his time at Baylor and this offense?
Well, yeah, there is. So the actual plays and things that he's doing in the offense are very similar, but the terminology is completely different. And so it's just getting a play call, processing it in your brain. Oh yeah, it's that play from Baylor. You know, that's Gary's a really smart guy and he's picking it up fast, but there's a lot, and there's a lot to it.
Coming into spring, what caused you to say Jake and Gary were the two guys, the only ones that were going to compete for that starting job? Why not a third or a fourth guy?
Just felt like there was a gap between Jake. We felt like there was a gap between Jake and the next best guy, and then Gary's experience level, having already been a starting quarterback, won a Big 12 championship, just felt like and then just knowing him and knowing his character, we just thought he was the right guy to come in and compete with Jake. The other guys are getting better though. There's been some really good progress there, and I'm not saying none of those guys will ever play. I just felt like before spring ball there was just a bit of a gap there between Jake and the next guy up.
As a coach, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
As a coach, does spring football kind of break everything down to its baseline? Do you really enjoy that aspect of it?
I do. I love it. You start from scratch, and it's about fundamentals and technique, and it's about boiling things down to the core elements of how you win a football game. And for us, it's about being physical. We need to be physical again and get back to running the football the way we did in the years prior. And so that starts with very boring things, just footwork and stance and alignment and assignment and knowing and having a physical mindset. And so I love it. It's been fun. Yep.
Along those lines, where is the O-line there? Because if you want to run the ball or throw it, you need that.
They're doing it. Great. They're doing a good job. We're making progress there. We've definitely improved. It's too soon to say anything. I don't want to say anything, overstate anything. We've got a lot of work to do, but I believe that we are improving, and our tight ends are much improved. They are, especially in the run game.
So what needs to happen for them to keep that progress going?
Just keep going. You can't have a good practice and be satisfied. You have to. For us to be successful this year, we're going to have to play with a huge chip on our shoulder every week, and that's who we're going to be.
I wanted to ask you kind of a big picture question. A couple weeks ago, you noted that there might be some trends of the portal movement could be causing lower scoring in college football. How do you just feel about the sport as a whole? I mean, there's outside talk about private equity, playoff, realignment. You've been in this game for decades now. How do you feel about the direction of college football at the moment?
I mean, we're definitely in a time of change. There's a lot going on, but you got to adapt or die, and that's how it is. So there's no sense in complaining about it from where I sit. I'm trying to get a first down, and that's how I look at it. How are we going to get the next first down? I'll leave the other stuff to everybody else to philosophize about and try to fix all those other problems. My job is to just get our players ready to play and keep improving. So that's what I'm focused on.
So it doesn't add, like all this outside noise, NIL and all this, it doesn't add much to your extra work?
No, it adds challenges for sure. I mean, just knowing that players can leave and, guys are getting paid and those things, it's definitely a challenge, but it doesn't do any good for me to complain about it or say whether I like it or not. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. It exists. All those things, all those changes that are happening are currently part of the game. And so as coaches, we have to adapt to the times and keep working.
Has the transfer portal schedule changed the schedule that you have installed or anything like that in the spring in terms of how much you put on guys this quickly?
No, not really. I haven't thought of it that way. I think one of the reasons I'm really confident about our team improving this year is just the continuity. We didn't really lose a lot of guys at the portal, and we might lose one or two after spring. I don't know, but I suspect that most of our guys are having a good time right now with what we're doing, and I think they'll stick around. And I'm confident that we're heading in a direction right now where our guys feel like we're doing good things.
Do you feel like BYU has an advantage as far as continuity goes because it does ask? It's a different play. It's unique in what it. The type of guy that wants to come to BYU anyway. Does that give you some edges, some advantage as far as building that continuity?
That's a good question. I think there's probably a few guys on this team that would maybe think twice about leaving because they have other reasons for being here. But we've certainly had our share of guys leave, and we've had our share of guys come in too. So I think the movement you're going to see in college football is going to continue, and it's up to us to just deal with it and adapt to it.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks,
okay.
Appreciate it.